Good to see you this Thursday evening. Thanks for tuning in with us on WFMY Plus. We're here to give you the latest information on radar updates for the night tonight, as we've been seeing scattered showers and even a couple of strong to severe thunderstorms make their way through the Triad. Plus, we have a weather impact alert for tomorrow afternoon and evening due to the threat of some strong to severe thunderstorms. It's mainly going to be in the window from 2 o'clock all the way through around 8 o'clock into the evening. That's when we're really going to have to keep a close eye on the radar. Still a couple of showers, maybe a storm could form outside of this window, but the main threat is going to be in this time frame. Severe storms being possible in that time frame could feature high winds or maybe even some hail across the area. Those really are going to be the two main threats that we're watching in these showers and thunderstorms. What I need you to do, go ahead and make sure you have multiple ways to receive weather alerts. That means keeping the WFMY app handy and of course staying alert throughout this window for tomorrow. Now, before we get into tomorrow, a little bit more specifics, I want to dive into the radar right now across the area. You know, we've had a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings in portions of Stokes and also Forsyth and Guilford counties, and now we're starting to see all of that moisture that we've been watching throughout the day today to our south slowly pushing up to the north. This system right here, this low pressure, starting to push its way toward the area, dragging that moisture in and across the region. And you know, it's kind of causing some issues in regards to flash flooding. We've seen a couple of warnings pop up just within the last couple of hours. This one particularly in Alamance and in Guilford County. This is all the way through 10 o'clock tonight due to the amount of rainfall, you know, that's come down in such a short span of time, plus the additional rainfall that is going to be expected the next several hours and into early tomorrow morning. In addition, there's also another one down here toward Troy, right here in Montgomery County, and portions of very southern Davidson and Randolph, just toward the southwestern edge. We're still watching more moderate to heavy rainfall kind of come down over these very specific locations that is going to be causing problems heading into the night tonight. So here's that one flash flood warning as of right now is in Alamance and Guilford County. We're still seeing some isolated showers and even embedded storms featuring some lightning, but most of all heavy rain across the area, some of which even have some hail in them as well. Hail size up to around 0.5 inches we've seen across the area, and I've even seen around 1 inch hail just in the last hour or two across the area, moving into Alamance and out of the area into Orange County. Another flash flood warning again well to our south here. Let's zoom in just a little bit on this. This is right over El Dorado and Albemarle, where we've seen a lot of rain in a very short amount of time. This flash flood warning is going to continue all the way through 9:30 tonight. This includes portions of Davidson County, Montgomery County, Randolph, and also Stanley counties. Zooming out just a little bit all across the area, this is the flash flooding risk for the night tonight. It is a level 1 out of 4 into the night tonight. Not so much more seeing that severe level threat, but it is really going to be that flash flooding with the heavy rainfall that is the threat going forward into the night tonight, because not only have we seen a lot of rainfall in some spots with those flash flood warnings already in place, but more rainfall is going to be on the way for the next several hours, continuing into tomorrow morning. A look at the flash flooding risk for tomorrow. Again, not going to be our main concern for the day on Friday. This is going to be more of our severe threat that we're going to be seeing within these strong showers and thunderstorms. So our main concern is going to be more so for the hail and even some wind gusts across the area within these strong to severe thunderstorms. A look at the rainfall that we've seen so far today, and in some spots we really haven't seen very much. A couple of hundredths of an inch right here in Statesville, Mount Airy, around a quarter of an inch in Wilkesboro, Greensboro. Not tallying much for right now, but I'm sure that's going to change as we start to get more and more of that in just in the next couple of hours. Burlington up most to around 1/10 of an inch, but look over here at Albemarle. Just got the recent update, almost 2 inches of rainfall due to heavy rainfall continuing to come down and those storms reforming over the same location. Lots of rain in a very small amount of time, with more actually on the way, which is why Albemarle right now is currently in that flash flood warning. Temperatures right now across the board mainly in the 60s and lower 70s, 72 in Troy. Dew points right now mid to upper 60s across the area, not anywhere near the 70s like we were just a couple of hours ago. It has been very humid and soupy out just throughout the day today, and next 12 hours we're going to continue to see those rain chances kind of stay elevated through early tomorrow morning. I expect temperature wise us to stay kind of in the lower 60s before warming back up into tomorrow afternoon, back in the mid to upper 70s at best. This is when we're going to start to see that severe storm threat for the afternoon and evening, again from 2 o'clock all the way until 8 p.m. And the main things that we're going to be looking at are going to be those wind gusts and, of course, that hail threat throughout the afternoon and into the evening. And it's all due to this upcoming cold front that's going to be sweeping into the area. We still could see an isolated shower or storm across the region ahead of the front, but when the front itself actually moves into the area, that's when we're really going to have to watch for some of these storms that could be strong to severe across the region, bringing in that threat for hail, of course, with the damaging wind gusts across the area and even that lower end tornado threat across the region. So a closer look at the rapid refresh model. Most of these showers for the night tonight are gone by around 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Into tomorrow, we start out fairly dry, but by the time we get into the afternoon, here comes that cold front that's really going to be bringing in that chance for scattered showers and storms, some of which could even be strong or even severe across the area by around 4 or 5 o'clock. Again, these could really pack a punch, but this system is moving very, very quickly across the area. So we're going to have to keep a very close eye on this system for the afternoon from around 2 o'clock all the way through around 8 o'clock, where still an isolated shower or storm going to be possible behind the front itself later on, possibly into the evening by around 7 or 8 o'clock. But by then, that's when we're really starting to clear out across the area. So storm threats, want to go over this with you just so you know. The main things that we're going to be watching for are going to be the damaging wind gusts and, of course, the larger hail across the area. Low end threats are going to be tornadoes. Again, this is non-zero, so these are still a possibility, but not quite as high of a chance. The tornado threat and, of course, the heavy rain. We are in a slight risk, level 2 out of 5, meaning that scattered severe thunderstorms are going to be possible. Now, out toward our to our west, it's not as great of a chance. It's more isolated in nature, but it is becoming more and more likely as you head toward the east, and especially along the coastline where they have upped the tornado risk. It is at 2%. This is low, but again, it is worth noting while we head into the day tomorrow. Hail risk is also pretty elevated for our area throughout tomorrow afternoon and into the evening. Hail and also damaging wind, like we've been going over here for the last couple of minutes. Those two things are the main concerns, and that is why we have issued this weather impact alert. And again, it's going to go from around 2 o'clock all the way until around 8 o'clock, with damaging winds and hail being the two things that we're really looking at. Again, other concerns, of course, we're going to have to keep an eye on, and I want you to go ahead and make sure you're staying alert and have multiple ways to receive severe weather alerts. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to our chief meteorologist, Tim Buckley, standing by. Tim.
Thanks, Claire. We've had a lot of discussions about the weather tomorrow, and with good reason. We're watching that potential of nasty storms for a couple of hours late Friday afternoon into the dinner time hour. But for today, this has honestly been a little bit of a surprise just how much rainfall has started to move into our area. And we are noticing some signs that we could be in some trouble over the next couple of hours. I'll put it this way. If you don't have to be out there tonight for all that long, you probably would rather just stay home. Reason being, a lot of this rainfall could start to add up to some flash flooding. We have a couple of warnings across the area right now that have been in place, but going forward, we still have more hours of this rainfall before we're done with it. I would expect it to continue at least through around midnight or so, which means that flash flood risk, it's only going to continue. I hate to tell you that, but it seems likely for a good chunk of our area. Right now, we're going to start you out in Guilford County here, and yes, we do have this flash flood warning for a small chunk of the county, but honestly, pretty much everybody's getting heavy rain right now. So I'm just going to say most places have a risk of flash flooding at this point from now through the next couple of hours. So here's the city of Greensboro. Downtown is right here for you. Burlington on the edge of your screen. Northeast Guilford over that way too. In Alamance County and Burlington, you're seeing just the same thing. Lots of heavy rain slowly moving over the same area with more rain building back behind it. So bottom line, we're stuck with this probably through about 10 to 11, maybe even midnight tonight. And that will leave a mark with multiple inches of rain possible. Back to Greensboro we go. Here's downtown. The rain has let up a little bit momentarily, but it'll be back here. Radar estimates. This is just estimated rain over the last little bit, and it's kind of usually playing catch up when it comes to this sort of thing. But it estimates 1 to 2 inches across Greensboro, as much as 2, 3, and 4 inches on the northeast side of the county, up toward Alamance County as well. So bottom line, It's rained way too much over the last little bit, and it continues to do that. So not just Guilford, not just Alamance, but a good chunk of our area is dealing with that heavy rainfall at the moment. High Point, you've really been taking it on the chin from this rainfall too. Thunder and lightning going on as well. Davidson County getting the steady rain. Randolph County, you've been in this also. And remember, it's just been so wet of a week. I don't have to tell you that. We've had lots of rainy days stacked up against each other. So this might not have as much, there might not be as much room to put this water as if it were to fall in last week, for example. Back out to the west we go. We're down toward the Charlotte area now. Starting to see some signs that the rain is a little bit lighter down there, but it's still going. So again, we're stuck with this probably through about 11 or 12 o'clock tonight. On the wide view, you can see this is the worst cluster of rain. It's over our area through the Raleigh area right now. That flood risk between now and midnight will continue. It's bone dry in the foothills at the moment. Same story out toward the mountains. A little bit of rain in South Carolina. We'll keep an eye on that for you as well. But again, be cautious and be mindful of any rising water around the area. This is a live view of downtown Greensboro. Obviously, we're just a little bit closing in on sunset here this evening, but this kind of tells the story. I don't think they're going to resume play in that Hoppers game that's been in a rain delay for quite a while. Temperatures have cooled off into the 60s. We have zero threat of severe thunderstorms going forward through the rest of the night tonight. It's just going to be rain from here on out, but you could hear some thunder. There's plenty of that will go around as well. Downtown High Point, we're looking on Main Street. Cars are flowing all right. They're not doing all that bad at the moment, but it is muggy, and yes, it is raining very steadily, even heavily too at times. Futurecast, this isn't even a really organized weather system. It's basically just a little bit of an impulse, something that we would call a short wave. All that is just a little bit of low pressure in the upper atmosphere. You don't need to know that, but that is just something that's sliding by and will be pushing through overnight tonight. So let's talk about tomorrow. The whole reason we were here was to tell you about some nasty thunderstorms that could form. This is a cold front coming toward our area late tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. It has high winds in the upper atmosphere. Usually they don't bother us, but when you create thunderstorms, sometimes they can bring those high winds down to the surface. We have that risk, we have that potential for tomorrow. Toward the weekend, the weather will be calmer, but there's one more little front that comes by that could bring us a scattered shower or thunderstorm for Saturday afternoon. But we are a little concerned about tomorrow. That's why we have one of these weather impact alerts for you. 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. would be the timing. Damaging wind gusts or hail, both possible across our area. Good idea to have those alerts turned on your phone. Make sure to have a weather plan as well. This is happening during the middle of the day, so thankfully you're not going to be asleep. It shouldn't really catch you too off guard, but between 2 p.m. and let's say at least dinner time, you're going to want to be weather aware. And what we mean when we say that, make sure the alerts are turned on your phone. Know where you'd go if there were a tornado warning that was issued for your area, and if it is, tune in to us. You know, we're going to have lots of live coverage for you on WFMY Plus, but also our newscast every day, 4:30 to about 6:30. We'll have you covered there as well. This is that time frame of the storm threat for tomorrow, mostly during the late afternoon and into the early evening. We're in a level 2 risk of severe storms. To break it down to you even further, there's a tornado risk. That's pretty low. It's not all that high for tomorrow, but it's also not zero. So it's something we'll want to keep an eye on. Winds, more of a medium level of wind risk for tomorrow, something that we really could see in a couple of those thunderstorms, and hail. Can't really rule that out. We had a little bit of hail in our area today. Tomorrow is even more favorable for hail to form and fall out of some of those thunderstorms. Just to show you a little bit of the futurecast, again, there it is tonight, showing that rain continuing through about midnight, then taking a bit of a break and a gap. Tomorrow morning is fine. Tomorrow lunchtime is fine. But here's the late afternoon. It has around 3 o'clock nasty line of showers and storms getting toward the foothills and then pushing toward the Triad by 4 and 5. These things are moving quickly. They're not slow movers, they are fast, and they're pushing across the area, and they should be out of our hair by 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock at the latest. I do not think they're going to linger all that long. It's kind of the opposite of tonight, where we have the slow moving sitting rainfall. Tomorrow, it's a fast batch that might only last an hour or two in your location. Then we'll be off to a pretty okay weekend for the most part. Temperatures will be all right, and we have that low chance of rain on your Saturday afternoon. The overall weather forecast here, looking at the next couple of days. For Friday, again, we have that alert for the afternoon and evening. Saturday, not an alert-worthy day, but we do have a couple thunderstorms that could pop up for the afternoon. Sunday looks to be on the dry side, and hey, next week, it's going to feel like summer again. We're getting into the mid and upper 80s, and it'll be pretty toasty and humid as well. Be safe out there this evening. Again, we could have flash flooding that starts to develop over the next couple of hours. We'll be back with any further updates as needed. And as always, you can get more radar live anytime on our website or on our News 2 app.